While a lot of us are talking about Pete Hegseth, I want to talk about my friend who lives in the Midwest. Because my friend recently admitted to me that something in her spirit just said, look up the schools that you've been applying to with your kid. Take a look at who runs them and who they're associated with. And lo and behold, the one that she had been sending her kid to turned out to be associated with the Heritage Foundation. My friend, being a very progressive person who also doesn't identify as Christian, realized that maybe she doesn't want her kid going to a school where the values that she teaches at home may not be what's instilled in the curriculum that they learn at school. And that's actually what's going on in a lot of schools across the country right now, largely in part due to the Religious Liberty Commission established by President Trump earlier this year. And I'm going to read this right off of their page on the DOJ's website, but the commission's directive is to advise the White House Faith Office and the Domestic Policy Council on religious liberty policies of the United States. One of the topics that they're supposed to be considering are the First Amendment rights of teachers, students, military chaplains, service members, employees, and employers. Anyway, so this commission had a meeting on September 8th, which was only their second meeting ever, but the theme of it was religious liberty and education. And it's important to point out here that the chair of the commission is actually the Lieutenant Governor of Texas. His name is Dan Patrick, and he is a big proponent of some of the laws that they've been trying to implement in Texas schools. However, a lot of people have started to argue that the religious liberties that this administration keeps referring to seems to only center Christians. It seems to talk a lot about how Christianity is under attack and how America should be viewed as a Christian nation. Lieutenant Governor Patrick has even tried to say that the commission is an interfaith council of people, and therefore, of course, they're considering everyone's religion. But many people have pointed out that if you look on the website and see who's listed, it's pretty much only folks that would identify as Catholic, Christian, or Jewish. This commission's version of neutrality on religion really just leans a little bit more into what some might view as Christian supremacy. Now, my friend is incredibly lucky. She has access to resources that will allow her to put her child into whatever school she determines is the best fit for her. But the majority of Americans don't. Most of us just go to whatever public school happens to be in the district that we're assigned to. And it's important that we highlight that on September 17th, not even 10 days after the commission met, the United States Department of Education also announced the America 250 Civics Education Coalition. The coalition's main goal is to outline a curriculum that is America first, that really highlights patriotism and America's founding values, which many in the Religious Liberties Commission would say includes Judeo-Christian values. They're partnering with organizations like Turning Point USA, Moms for Liberty, and the Heritage Foundation to do so. If you live in a place where this version of history or this version of civics is what's being taught to your child, you may not even know it until they come home, ask you for help with their homework, and you recognize that what they're learning in school is completely different than what you learned when you were younger. So knowing that they've already gone after the students and the teachers, who do you think they're coming for next?